Welcome to Channel Today in History. In today's video we will talk about the day, September 16, 1982, Massacre of Sabra and Shatila. The Sabra and Shatila massacre was the massacre of Palestinian and Lebanese civilian refugees carried out between September 19 and 20, 1982, by the Maronite militia led by Elie Hobeika, in retaliation for the assassination of the country's elected president and Falangist leader, Bashir Gemayel. The event took place in the Palestinian camps of Sabra and Shatila, located on the southern outskirts of Beirut, an area that was then under occupation by the Israeli armed forces. At the request of the Lebanese Falangists, Israeli forces surrounded Sabra and Shatila, blocked the exits from the camps to prevent the evacuation of the villagers. The carnage began immediately. It would continue until noon on Saturday. The night brought no rest. The Falangist liaison officers asked for illumination, and the Israelis diligently complied with the request, firing illumination rockets, while groups of militiamen, with about 150 men each, were arriving at the camps to continue the execution of the massacre. Description: the possibility of attacks was predictable. Bashir Gemayel, leader of the far-right organization Phalanges Lebanese, called the Palestinian refugees a surplus population. Bashir was assassinated on September 14, 1982. On the 16th, the camps were attacked. The massacre took place in an area directly controlled by the Israeli army during the 1982 invasion of Lebanon, between 16 and September 18 of the same year. The number of victims is not well known and, according to the source, the estimate can vary from a few hundred to 3,500 people, mostly children, women and the elderly, were killed by the Phalangists. Israel's Supreme Court held Israel's Defense Minister Ariel Sharon personally responsible for the massacre for failing to protect the refugees. Sharon, when running for Prime Minister of Israel, lamented the deaths and denied any responsibility. The repercussion of the massacre, however, caused him to be dismissed from the post of Minister of Defense. United Nations condemnation. On December 16, 1982, the United Nations General Assembly condemned the massacre, declaring it an act of genocide. Section D of the resolution, which defined the massacre as an act of genocide, was adopted by 123 votes in favor, 0 against and 22 abstentions. Repercussion: the Sabra and Shatila genocide was one of the events that drew public attention to the problem of Palestinian refugees and the Palestinian territories occupied by Israel. In Brazil, at the time, Veja magazine had as its correspondent in Lebanon the reporter Alessandro Porro, a Jew born in Italy and naturalized Brazilian, who dismantled the allegation that the Israeli army had not noticed the massacre taking place. Porro even counted the 183 steps that separated the refugee camps and the Israeli barracks, which was considered a journalistic scoop. According to the testimony of a major in the Lebanese army, confirmed by the Guardian of the former embassy of Kuwait, an Israeli unit with 3 Merkava tanks and at least 5 armored vehicles was stationed less than 200 meters from those first houses in the southern sector of Shatila. Related media. In 2008, an amazing and realistic animated film about the episode was released. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next